And it flashes the screen, and you see the decal down the side, the Houston Speedway USAC Nationals, the Matt Woods.
Joe Gibbs, racing president Dave Alpern stated that Christopher Bell and subsequently Ty Gibbs had only begun to irritate the namesake team owner over his longtime, mainly blanketed open-wheel dirt racing restriction. Chase Briscoe was signed over the summer, bringing the total to 3 drivers, including the owner's grandson, who all wanted to try their hand at dirt racing. Checkmate. I think they just wore him out a little bit, Alpern told SiriusXM NASCAR Radio on Friday. To be honest, and Christopher has been great about it, his fans were disappointed in the ban, and there were a few injuries and Alex Bowman got hurt. People forget we have almost 500 employees, and they and the sponsors, and everyone are counting on the drivers, so we have to protect these guys for their primary job. I think to Bell's credit, over time, it was just a matter of letting things settle down a little bit. Then Chase Briscoe comes in and he loves doing it. I also personally believed that when those guys run those races, it breathes new life into them and makes them better over here. Alpern said it's not a carte blanche policy. If a Gibbs driver wishes to conduct an extracurricular race, they must present the proposal to senior leadership, which will undoubtedly involve the older Gibbs, Heather Gibbs, Alpern, and new competition director Chris Gabehart. Gibbs had authorized Bell to drive sprint cars and midgets until 2022, when Stewart Haas racing engineer and experienced racer DJ Vanderlei sustained a spinal injury while competing in a micro-sprint event hosted by the NASCAR Contender. Like, if Coach sees someone flip over a fence in May, he may revoke the pass, he said. But we have a competition group where there is a process. If a driver wants to run something, he brings it to the group. If the group recognizes the car and we know the team building it, and we know the speeds or think it's okay, then it's probably okay for them to do it. So there's a little bit of a process now. But yeah, I think everyone at the company is excited, and even Ty is going to run some dirt stuff. That was as much of a motivator for this as Bell's continued advocacy. Toyota has sprint car and midget engines, and the younger Gibbs has raced micro sprints all season at Millbridge Speedway in North Carolina, as well as testing a 410 sprint car earlier this month. Gibbs wanted to race. I think the racing is very fun, and it's something for me to do, and I'm glad it got lifted, and hopefully we can see Christopher win a ton of races, and hopefully me too, and Chase, Gibbs said on Friday prior to the NASCAR Awards banquet in downtown Charlotte. We have to credit Bell for all the time he's put into making it happen. Bell has been trying to have this situation done for a long time and has slowly put it together. Having Chase come over at the same time that I've wanted to get involved with it just worked its way out. The higher-ups in JGR are big dirt fans too, so it was just time. And my mom. Briscoe isn't sure whether he made a difference, but replacing Martin Truex Jr. in the number 19 car next year gives Joe Gibbs racing 3 young drivers who have all dabbled in dirt racing and want to do it more regularly. I think it just so happened that, I came over here and I guess we have the majority now, Briscoe said with a laugh. Briscoe is the son of a non-winged sprint car racer who has raced sprints and midgets intermittently over the last decade. He and his wife Marissa recently welcomed twins, so he is unsure how frequently he will race, but he loves the opportunity to do so. It'll be fun though to especially see Christopher back on dirt, just with all the stuff that he's been able to do in his career and the battles that him and Kyle Larson had, Briscoe said. For the fans, I think to be able to have that again is going to be really exciting. So yeah, I'm just thankful that I at least have the opportunity to go do it. At first when I came over there, I thought even if I really wanted to go do like a memorial race that was important to me or something, I wouldn't even have the option. Now I do, so I'm thankful that they opened up the reins a little bit. Because of the twins, Briscoe does not plan to attend Chili Bowl this year, and neither does Bell. It's definitely not too late to field an entry, but right now, I don't plan on doing it, Bell said. I have a couple of things personally that I have going on. You never know. I love the Chili Bowl. I can tell you that I will be at the Tulsa shootout. I'm not sure if I will be driving or not. My father-in-law, Brian Kemena, has a team there. I will have my cars there. I will be at Tulsa shootout, regardless of whether I'm racing or not. Beyond that, I don't have anything planned yet. I've got some other things I have to sort through, and then I'll be team dirt racing. What will the schedule look like? One thing I like to do when it comes to dirt racing is I don't like to make a schedule, Bell said. I really just go week by week, and if I think a week looks quiet, I'll look for opportunities to go race, and then it's a matter of who has a car available and can I get in it, things like that. I'm definitely not going to make a schedule, so to say, but yeah, I'll take it week by week. It's nice to know that it's in my hands and the competition department's hands. I'm excited about it and looking forward to reconnecting with my dirt fans. Briscoe has the same outlook. Even on the professional side, I'll start looking at some races once I get settled, Briscoe said. But really, I want my main focus to be this number 19 team. The desire isn't there to go dirt racing, and only because I want to do this right. I want this to go as well as it can, and that's where my head is at next year. And now finally, Gibbs Racing will authorize Cup Series drivers Christopher Bell, Chase Briscoe, and Ty Gibbs to compete on dirt in the future. The Cup Series teams, owned by the namesake great football coach, have long been apprehensive of allowing his drivers to compete in midgets and sprint cars, citing the risk of injury and the impact of missed races on team profitability. Tony Stewart missed a decade of top-tier sprint car racing while driving for Gibbs. For several years, the team relaxed the rules, allowing Bell to race more frequently until extracurricular racing was once again prohibited in 2023. The motive for that move was both the death of Coy Gibbs, who had a higher tolerance for dirt racing than his father, and an accident received by Stewart-Haas racing engineer DJ Vanderlee while racing a micro-sprint at the Texas Motor Speedway dirt track in an event sponsored by Bell. We sort of talked things over to come up with a process by which they can request to run certain races, Gibbs told the newspaper. If they get approval from everyone they need on our competition side, then they are free to run the race. That includes dirt, but also potentially other forms of racing. That decision came after a meeting last month in which Gibbs outlined a procedure that still prohibits particularly risky races, with Briscoe citing Eldora Speedway in a non-winged sprint car as an example due to the speed of the half-mile and the lack of a wing, which also adds a layer of protection to the driver. However, with the policy change, the three drivers are now eligible to compete in World of Outlaws and USAC midget races. They could even compete in the Chili Bowl, where Bell and Briscoe have spent the last decade competing. Bell won it 3 times in a row from 2017 to 2019.
I think that there's a lot of young kids that are growing up that are going to be really good. And yeah, I mean, Oklahoma is definitely a hotbed for dirt track racing, so it's going to be fun to see who emerges for sure.
Ty Gibbs, the team owner's grandson and Coy's son, has just tested a 410 sprint and indicated an interest in the discipline. None of the three have indicated which races they want to enter. Denny Hamlin, their seasoned teammate, has never indicated a desire in racing on dirt. The decision to lift limitations was especially shocking given that Hendrick Motorsports driver Alex Bowman missed 4 races after suffering a spine damage in a sprint car incident. At the same time, his colleague Kyle Larson continues to compete in up to 50 sprint car and midget races every year, and he feels he is better on Sundays as a result. Winning 6 Cup races this season didn't harm his case. And now we'll probably see the JGR drivers join him as well. Who knows if it helps them improve as well. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.